get you some water. Be right back. Some fresh food. Excuse me, Henny Penny. Still got some from yesterday. What's up? I need to eat up. Sweet girls. I've been thinking a lot about homestead ideals. I think a lot about homestead ideas, but if you add an L, you have the homestead ideals. I did a podcast about this yesterday. I think I actually posted it. Yesterday's kind of a blur, but anyways. Yeah, homestead ideals. You know, ideally, Sarah and I have had in mind that we would like to own, say, 5 to 10 acres. Maybe do it with a couple of other families. So we could have like a milk cow and we could share milking duties, that kind of thing. You know, so we could have a bigger garden plot that would be enough for like 3 families to eat for a year. How amazing would that be? That we would be able to have 50 chickens instead of the small amount that we have now. You know, these are things that have kind of been like an ideal. So they're things that we're kind of moving towards. But in the meantime, we've been maximizing what we have here. We built the greenhouse. You know, we'd like to have a bigger greenhouse. I mean, everything's always bigger and better, but we want to not have the attitude that the grass is always greener. We went and looked at some land recently, and immediately I got some vision for what it could look like with fruit trees on the back fence line and, you know, where the garden would go and what it would look like and all that kind of stuff. And I just got some vision for that. And then I kind of had the thought, well, what if we actually stayed here right where we are? Maybe this is not the ideal. We don't even have an acre. But if we just maximized what we have right here, could we make a go of it here? Well, as I've prayed and thought through and continued to process, and Sarah and I continue to talk, I'm kind of actually getting used to that idea. What if instead of going for what I've perceived to be the ideal, what if I actually became content with what I have? What if this became my ideal? Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not assured that I can do that. I don't know that I am ready for that yet, because for so long we've been wanting to have our own piece of land and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, there's some realizations that are coming to me, some possibilities. Now, The cool thing is that God's the game changer. Whatever He wants to do can happen, and we want to listen and hear what He wants. He also takes into consideration the desires of our own heart, which is really cool. He may gladly give us a piece of land and provide that for us for some of those kind of dreams. But the homestead ideals about self-sufficiency and having big piece of property to be able to, have redundancy to kind of even get off grid almost. Not that I would ever totally live off grid. I don't think I'm totally built for that. I'm not ready for that. But all these ideals, well, things are shifting because I'm asking myself the question, what does contentment look like? And this has been a journey of months, but it's just kind of just now getting applied to our homestead life. What if we were content, again, with what we have right here? Now, I know that some of you are living like in an apartment, and you're never going to be content, homestead-wise, with just having 3 tomato plants on the porch of your apartment and the little bitty thing of herbs in your kitchen window. I get that. I mean, definitely everybody's situation is different, but we've got a decent sized yard. We've got a front yard, which I've said in the past would really be neat if it became a food forest. Yes, I said the word again. What if our front yard was to become a food forest? That would be amazing. So, if I could get my mind and my heart wrapped around the idea that where we are right now might be our new ideal because we are content here, the possibilities may be greater than what we've even perceived up to this point. Just because we get our minds wrapped around the idea that this might be our forever home. Forever apart from eternity, of course. See, one of these days I'm going to die, and I'm going to be in heaven, and there's going to be a mansion, but I still plan on having a garden, I assume. I don't know if that'll happen or not. I do know I'll be in heaven, so I may not even want a garden at that point. But I'm not trying to do a little heaven here on earth, and that's what a lot of people think. I really just want to be faithful to work and to be good with a piece of ground that I've been entrusted with, that I've been given. And the chickens that I have, and the children that I'm raising, and the job that provides income for us to do what we do and love and enjoy. So contentment is really way more valuable than just having the ideal. Because I do know that if we ever had 5 to 10 acres, there would be constant improvement. There would be this sense of always wanting to make it better, always wanting to grow, always wanting to, and we may do that. That would be amazing. But I'm getting used to this idea of staying right here. Making this a thing that we've always dreamed of. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. It may be an exercise in futility, but I don't think so. I think there's something to it. But contentment is a key. Do you have contentment right where you are? Are you fully present in the situation in which you find yourself? Are you actively engaged in what you have? If you're embracing any kind of gardening or chickening or rabbiting or anything, or you have homestead type stuff going on, you're baking bread, you're sewing, you're canning, be content right where you are. And that's easy to say, hard to do if you've got dreams for something bigger. But I'm grateful for what we have right now. And I think that's one of the keys to contentment right there. Just being thankful. The fact that we even get to do what we do here is a miracle. And I'm grateful. Thank you, God. Thank you guys for liking, for listening, for subscribing, and for going along on the journey with us. It's fun, it's interesting, it's difficult sometimes, but it's worth it. Be content right where you are.